Hey everyone, Kimoji is a gamer here. In this video, I will be comparing the two latest mainline Zelda games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So there will be 7 categories: story, map, shrines, dungeons, abilities, bosses, and content. I will go over both games, and whichever is better in each category will score 1 point. So let's get into the video. Round 1, Story. So Breath of the Wild starts off with Link waking up from 100-year-long slumber, whereas in the Hunnids lost the war, the champions died, and he has to regain his memories and stop Calamity Ganon to save Hyrule. I think they had a really good story, but Tears of the Kingdom on the other hand was a bit better than that. I liked how Link and Zelda find out about the imprisonment war, the upheaval at the start of the game, and just everything, and exploring the sky and the depths is really cool. The Zona were a great addition to the Zelda universe and a better conclusion, and overall Tears of the Kingdom had the better story. The first point goes to Tears of the Kingdom. Round 2, Map. When Breath of the Wild first came out, the map was huge. So much to see and do. Hyrule has never looked this good. You had villages and stables and fairy fountains, so very much to see. But Tears of the Kingdom, on the other hand, has 2 extra maps, the Sky Island and the Depths. There's so much more to do, and the map is much bigger and better than the one in Breath of the Wild, so Tears of the Kingdom has a better map. Another point goes to Tears of the Kingdom. Round 3, Shrines. So Breath of the Wild introduced us to the shrines. They were scattered all over Hyrule. Each shrine had different kinds of puzzles that were really cool to solve. Some were quite difficult. But Tears of the Kingdom had more shrines also in the sky of Hyrule, but many of the shrines straight up gave you the reward and the light of blessing, and there was no challenge. That's why Breath of the Wild has better shrines. This point goes to Breath of the Wild. Round 4, Dungeons. Breath of the Wild's 4 main dungeons were called the Divine Beasts, massive mechanical beasts where you have to get inside and free them from Calamity Ganon. So the puzzles were pretty cool. There was a lot to do. You could control the dungeon, but Tears of the Kingdom had more like traditional Zelda temples, like the Wind Temple and the Fire Temple, and these were amazingly designed, and I think Tears of the Kingdom has better dungeons. Yet another point goes to Tears of the Kingdom. In Breath of the Wild, you had abilities such as Magnesis to move metallic objects, create bridges and stuff. You could use Coronis to build an ice block on a body of water, and summon bombs to break cracked walls or throw at enemies. The champion abilities, you had stuff like Daruk's Protection, which gives you a shield, and Rivali's Gale, which is very useful, makes you fly up with an updraft to reach high places. In Tears of the Kingdom, you could use Ultran to build anything you want, Fuse to fuse 2 weapons, a shield with a boulder, and stuff, and Ascend, which is really useful to go through ceilings to places that are hard to reach, and also the Sage Spirits will fight by your side, each with a different ability you can activate. You can also use Mineri's Golem to ride it, attach flame and lightning emitters to its hands for attack, or a fan to its back to go faster. These are such great abilities, but I personally prefer the abilities Link has in Breath of the Wild. I give this point to Breath of the Wild. Round 6, Bosses. We'll start off with Breath of the Wild's mini-bosses. We have the Stone Talus, which is pretty easy, the Giant Hinox, which they come in different colors, and we also got the Morduga, which can be found in the desert, at Gerudo Desert. And the bosses of the main dungeons are just the Ganon Blights, which are pretty easy. Calamity Ganon, the final boss, is really cool, but then he transforms into its final form, Dark Beast Ganon, which is surprisingly very easy, one of the easier fights in the game. Tears of the Kingdom brings you new mini-bosses such as the Flux Constructs, the Frogs in the Depths, which are really cool, the fights, and King Gleeok, which is the hardest mini-boss fight in the game, by far. I even struggle on King Gleeok. Then you got the main bosses like Colgara in the Wind Temple, which is a really awesome boss fight. You can even find more of them in the depths. Queen Gibdo in the Lightning Temple is another pretty cool boss. They're not that difficult, but really cool. And at the end of the game, you face Demon King Ganondorf, which is a really crazy cool fight. Very difficult for me the first time. And then he transforms into a dragon, and you have this epic battle in the sky. Really cool. Tears of the Kingdom has the most variety of its bosses. I say Tears of the Kingdom has better bosses than Breath of the Wild. This point goes to Tears of the Kingdom. And now for the final round, content. Breath of the Wild is already a game with quite a lot of content, but the DLC packs give it so much more. The Master Trials DLC pack gives you the whole game again just in Master Mode, which is so much harder. I personally never got even close to beating it. There are golden enemies that regenerate, and also there's the sword Trial of the Sword, which I never passed. The Champion's Ballad, pack 2 of the DLC, adds a new story, lots of some new shrines, and arguably the hardest boss fight, Monk Maz Koshia. Tears of the Kingdom already has a lot of content. Unfortunately, it got no DLC, but because there's so much more to do in Tears of the Kingdom than Breath of the Wild without the DLC, I think they both have lots of content, so I can't decide. So this round ends in a draw. So I'm gonna give 1 point to Breath of the Wild and another point to Tears of the Kingdom. So that makes the winner Tears of the Kingdom. So here we are at the end of the video. If you made it this far, thanks a lot for watching. This is the most effort I've ever put into one of my videos. If you agree or disagree with what I said in the video, feel free to comment. And thanks for watching. Oh, and please consider subscribing if you're not already. It will really help the channel. I'm still new to this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.